Well, I was offered this film post Mast, and I liked the script. It was a different genre of a film. It's a comedy, and to my credit, people have liked me in comedy, so it's a plus point for me. It's going to be my second comedy after Love के लिए कुछ भी करेगा, and people have uh, liked me in Love के लिए कुछ भी करेगा. So I'm trying. It's a different kind of a comedy. It's a comedy where it's not a situational comedy like people say, like, it's basically a situational comedy, and you're not doing anything but trying to be serious while the situation is so funny, whereby the film looks funny. It's a film which is more of a masala mix. It's a different kind of comedy. That there are a couple of comedies. It's a comedy based basically on fast cutting lines, and funny emotions, and maybe sometimes funny faces, and caricatures of characters. But the genre the plot is serious, but no one's going to eventually take it seriously, because it is a basic comedy in structure. It's an entertaining film by its basic structure. So
So, what the role you're portraying in the film?
the role that I'm portraying in the film is more about is a boy who's come from out of town to claim his money from his so-called father-in-law, and the father-in-law is a miser, and the father-in-law can't part with even a dead fly. He'll probably uh, recycle the wings of the fly. I mean, he's to that extent. He probably runs after the BST buses in order to in order to save 2 rupees and 3 rupees. So, I mean, he goes to that extent. He's a crazy extent as to how miserly this man is, and to actually extract a huge sum of money from this man is a humongous task for this boy. But as the film suggests, as the title suggests, Suno Sasurjee, that's the basic plot, and it's basically a family entertainer. It's a fun film. It's a comedy film. It's your leave your brains behind so-called film. It's a film that will entertain all ages. It's a film that will entertain everybody. It's got no vulgarity, or not too much of violence. It's just a basic entertainer where you can kind of leave your worries behind, go and watch such a film, and get your complete paisa vasool kind of film.
As you tell, the title suggests it's a comedy entertainment. So, are you trying to tell something to the society, or what exactly it is?
Yeah, of course. I said that it's not literally Suno Sasurjee, but yes, it is a war cry to recover the money back from a man, where it's possibly the most impossible task to recover the money from such a man. So this is the basic plot of the film, and obviously it is an entertainer. So you can kind of assume what the plot will be like, and how this man actually goes about, and what the comedy of errors that follow in this kind of subject are.
After Karega, again with Amisha, how was it working with her?
It's good because we share a great rapport. She's got a good comic timing. She understands me. I understand her. We've known each other for a very long time.
Could you just mention her name, please?
Um, with Amisha, it's been very simple. Me and Amisha know each other for a very long time. We've had a great rapport on the sets and even off the sets. We know each other pretty well, and the best part is that in Kya Yahi Pyar Hai, we were more of we were never meant to be together, But in Suno Sasurjee, obviously there is a love angle, and there's a romantic angle, and whereby the basic plot is comedy. The romance is not that much into focus. It is there, but it is not the entire plot. The plot is the conflict between the father-in-law and the son-in-law, and whereby she is obviously his daughter. So there is bound to be more excitement added to that entire plot, and how this film takes up, and what are the comedy errors that follow is really hilarious.
तोता मिर्ची खा गया. How's the music after Karega?
The music is a different flavor. It's a different. It is more real. It is more massy, as you can call it. It caters to a larger audience. It caters to the interior. It caters to the classy people. It caters to everybody. It's got all kinds of music. It's got fast music, romantic songs. It's got basically entertaining commercial music, which is the plus point for any film.
Do you remember any remembrance coincidence behind the scene? The shooting was going on?
Well, this was my first attempt at comedy. Um, I started shooting, and I was not very confident with my comedy, because I was working with stalwarts like Mr. Kader Khan and Mr. Asrani, and I mean, they are so senior. They've been in the industry before even I was born. So for me to outdo them in comedy was a very difficult task. You see, in Love Ke Liye Kuch Bhi Karega, I had Fardeen and Saif, who were possibly in the same boat as I was. Saif is very good at comedy. Fardeen and I were trying comedy for the first time, but in this film, I'm pitted against uh, actors, senior actors like Adar Khan and Mr. Asrani, and they are just. I mean, I've got no words to express how fluent they are in comedy and how it just dawns upon them. What comedy is all about. And when they're like a walking institution of comedy. I mean, they've been there for decades, and I'm sure everybody, the whole world, will agree on that. They are not only exceptional actors, but they understand and they know how to produce comedy in a scene that is also not so funny. You see, in a situational comedy, you need the scene essentially to be funny, but in a masala mixed comedy, you need to go a little over than what you would otherwise, whereby to make the audiences laugh, because comedy is undoubtedly the most difficult thing to do. And these gentlemen were absolutely so sweet and so understanding that me and Amisha were like slightly new to comedy, and then to actually outdo them in their forte was possibly the most difficult thing for us to do.
What about Mr. Vimal? How was working with experience with him?
Vimalji, as I said, has also, by taking Mr. Kader Khan example and Mr. Asrani's example, he's been there with them for a long, long time. They've had a long association. For me, it was our first film, me and Amisha, and we thoroughly enjoyed because he's a very sweet gentleman. He gives a lot of respect to his artists. He treats them on a very humanitarian ground. He bestows a lot of faith in his artists, which is very important for an artist, and he never let us believe that our confidence was low to do something that we've never done before, like comedy, as I said. And he was very sweet, very adjusting, and he gave us a lot of liberty to do comedy, because in comedy, in a given situation or in a given genre which you're not too fluent with, you're always more comfortable when you get your freedom to do what you want, because when you do something impromptu, when you do something with freedom, that's when you get the best out of an artist. And that's what he was mature enough to understand, and he's intelligent enough to understand, and that's exactly what he's done. And he's a great person to work with.
Mr. Vimal Kumar so far has been a Govinda regular. So how do you feel? It's like, is it like getting into Govinda's shoes or something?
Not really. I think Govinda's a fantastic actor. He's really been there for a long time, and his forte has been comedy. So I won't believe that I've stepped into Govinda's shoes. I believe I have a lot of respect for Govinda, because I think he's a very good actor. He's someone who I could learn a lot from in terms of acting, for comedy, and so I know Mr. Vimal Kumar has been working Govinda, but that wouldn't change anything for me, because he offered me this film and I liked the script, and the whole setup, everything seemed very interesting. But I would just consider myself happy and lucky to do something like this.
Any strong point or any highlight of this particular?
Highlight for me is that I got to do something different. I got to do something that I feel that I could try and see if it works. Like, as you said earlier, it's a Govinda typecasted. I got to do something like that, which I've not done even in Love Ke Liye Kuch Bhi Kare, because that was situational comedy. So for me to do this kind of a comedy was a different feeling. It's not, comedy has different sectors. It's not just one thing. People laugh, but the point is, you can make funny faces and make them laugh, and you can make a straight face and also make them laugh at the same time, which are two different types of comedy. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to emphasize on. And I've done Love Ke Liye, which is completely different, and Suno Sasurjee is the other type, where you got to try and make funny faces sometimes and make people laugh. And you can't expect the situation to do everything. You have to put in that extra effort to make it more humorous. That's what Suno Sasurjee is all about.